2.
I think I shared it.
You think you shared it?
I don't know. It was being weird. Oh, yeah. Posted in 2 groups. Okay, we're good.
Gotham City.
Yep, you did. Hey!
We are live.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
I tried. Play?
You ever have that weird, you like wake up and have like already have a song stuck in your head when you wake up?
Only all the time.
That happened to me.
That happened to me, this morning, but I can't remember what the song was, and I don't want to try too hard to figure it out. Oh! Dang it, I figured it out. You know what it was for me this morning?
What's that?
The Hey Arnold theme song. It was the intro to Hey Arnold. Like, how random is that? Like, I haven't seen Hey Arnold in forever.
It was one of the ones on a React video recently.
Yeah. There is a song that it was around. It was popular on the radio by a girl named Samantha Mumba. I don't know if you remember this
familiar.
song. I recently said like, "Yo, yeah, that's another song from the 90s or early 2000s."
Okay.
But like for some reason I'll wake up with that song in my head.
How does it go?
Don't wanna love you if you don't love me.
Okay.
I know what
generic pop themes, you know.
Yeah. What did I wake up singing this morning? I can't remember.
Probably
now.
a Christmas song.
No. I don't remember what it was.
Which that's acceptable, right?
I did eventually get the It Is Well version, or choir version of It Is Well in my head earlier today.
You know what I did that like helped me out a ton on my Twitch feed or my Twitter feed?
What?
I've got the I use Tweetbot even though it's been disabled because they changed their API stuff, but mainly because Tweetbot's got amazing mute filters, and you can filter phrases instead of like just like Twitter does mainly just like hashtags and people for the most part. But like I can mute phrases. And you know what phrase I muted today and it's made me feel better? Ladies, if he.
Oh.
And like my Twitter feed just like shrunk in half.
Nice. Why is there so much of that in your Twitter feed?
That's the question.
Have you not seen there's that meme of like if he blah blah blah, then he's not your man. He's a sandwich with
that's a
Miracle
deal
Whip.
breaker.
Well, no, it's like a
I don't think I follow as many people as you do to have that much stuff in my feed.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of them.
I only have like one social justice warrior in there.
I have a bunch now.
No, it's not. It's not even like. It's like a meme thing. Hold on, I gotta find something now.
No, you filtered it.
Yeah, but I think I can.
Alone.
I think I can.
You're gonna drag it back into your life. Demons are gonna rise and haunt you.
So I understand all about like gender equality and
Man, you guys are taking this to a different place.
Yeah, this is going. Yep.
Sorry. I'll stop.
No, I'm just like that's not the.
What?
That's not the.
Tom is saying I'm a condiment.
What?
I think I got the right inflection on that.
Look, like here it is. Ladies, if he's not texting you back, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis, opening up his eager eyes, he's not your man. He's Mr. Brightside.
Oh,
like
I
that's
that
the
one.
meme.
Oh.
I like that one.
I see.
Like if he never texts you back, doesn't follow you on social media, can't go in the water, emotionally tortures you, has a super hard shell, he's not your man. He's a book, and books are better than men. So happy reading. But I just have like tons of them in my feed, and I'm like, I'm done.
So
I'm all for a good meme.
You're overthinking it.
But
I can see it. There's steam coming out
a good meme.
from the headphones. You're overthinking it.
I'm good.
He's probably talking about
I don't like it when people
Miracle Whip thing.
badmouth something to make other things look better, if that makes sense.
Are you talking about the Twitter rant I went on this morning?
No.
Oh, okay.
You went on Twitter rant?
I did went on Twitter. I went on another Twitter rant this morning.
No, it's nothing
Twitter
you
rant?
said. Just in general, like bad-mouthing men to make women seem better. And I'm like, okay, I get that.
I don't think that's what they were doing. They were just
that's
pulling
not what they're
lyrics
doing.
from a song.
Like I said, she's again taking it into a different
completely
place.
overthinking it.
I'm good. Like, why can't we just all be happy people?
Circumventing back around to board games before we get
illegal.
Thank you.
before we get the show started. No, my Twitter rant this morning is I saw another rant about Keyforge with people going, "Oh my god, I have." It's always great because they always start off, "I haven't played Keyforge, nor have I any desire to." But then they go on these like paragraph rants talking about like why it's the worst thing ever, and they don't understand why it's why. I'm like, you do realize people are different, right? Mm-hmm. Just because it doesn't appeal to you doesn't mean it doesn't appeal to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris.
I never say you're. I never say.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing.
See, now that
I know
that
you
is,
never do.
That is dumb.
It is.
I haven't played this thing, but this is why it's bad. Shut up.
Or even if they do,
your opinion is
like
invalid.
even if they do play it, like, and they're like, I don't get the hype. This game is terrible. Why don't you hate the thing that I hate? That's honestly what it comes down to. Is why don't you hate the thing that I hate?
You're welcome to like. That's why there's so many different types of games because everybody has different opinions.
First thing is. The best thing about Keyforge. More Keyforge.
More Keyforge. Yeah. And I think I promised, there's a giant cat looking down on us.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oscar!
Because cats make everything better.
Yes, they do.
And I think I promised Keith a game of Keyforge at the, I was watching the Epic Gaming Night stream and somebody was wanting to play. I think it was Keith.
Cool.
I agree with Sean.
What's he saying?
If they don't agree with his opinion, they're either drunk or high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm high in life, man.
See, we just all need to be happy people, right?
They just need to be as cool as the people in our chat room. That's what it comes down to.
Go with that.
I like them.
Oh, I remember what I was doing now.
Yeah, because you can build people up without bashing others, right?
I'm like, okay, I need to. Oh, I forget what I was doing.
Not allowed.
Oh yeah.
Were you going to interject something, or were you just?
No, I'm just telling. I'm just saying what's wrong with me.
He's weird.
There's so much hate going around the table. I'm having trouble focusing.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Hey.
What?
Loved him first.
Really?
Yes.
Anyways,
maybe
there's not enough hate at this
but
table
you loved
because
me
none of us
first.
backed that Kickstarter.
What?
None of us backed the hate Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I had to save money for Power Rangers.
December 3rd, by the way, Blood Rage Digital.
What is that when it's?
That's when the Kickstarter starts. Is the Blood Rage Digital?
Oh, it's a Kickstarter. Interesting. Can I use this for the chat?
No.
Babe?
I guess.
Okay.
Hang on.
You could like open it and put it in between you.
Yeah. I don't like having to use it. I don't know. I'm weird. Right. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay.
And also, the reason you may not see stuff in the chat is because we're streaming on 3 different platforms, and the stream is mixing it all together.
What?
So that way, if someone comments on YouTube, it's in the chat, so you can look right
at our screen
there, and it's right there.
It's right. Yeah.
Wow, there's lots of talk going on.
There is, and I love it.
Why
Tom. Do I not have a picture?
Tom's great.
Tom's great. He likes being a contrarian.
So, did you see the thing that Calvin posted about some sort of new pun?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! I didn't get it at first. I was like, why is this
it,
funny? And then I read it, realized what it was saying. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I wish I could remember one.
Well, like there's one that's like I wish I could be a shepherd, Tom said sheepishly. That's the example, or a example I just came up with the top of my head.
Who do I like the videos from John Nani is one of the, but they always do the stupid puns out of like product names and store names.
Mm-hmm.
Contrary. Sorry, I just caught up in the chat.
Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Wait, that's a name of a pack. I feel stupid now.
No, it's not.
Then why is he? I'm so confused. I don't know then.
Okay.
Tom's saying he likes being contrarian, and then Sean's continuing the Keyforge talk.
Oh, so that was a separate thing.
Yes.
Oh, no.
All right.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Alrighty.
All right, are we good?
Colin. Renegade Games.
The button is 1. It's pretty easy.
I hit the 1.
I know. I'm just.
That's the one I hit. Is 1. I'm ready.
All right. Show start in 3, 2.
Wait. 1.
This podcast is sponsored by Easy Roller Dice. Go check out their amazing gaming gear by going to easyrollerdice.com. I forgot there's a bit I do before the music starts.
Oh, no.
Live from OCD Studios, it's time for Boards and Swords.
Woo! Stop!
I just want to take Keyforge cards and just like throw them in the air. I'm like, yay, Keyforge.
No, you need those. What was it like? Uno Blaster or something where they had the
Oh,
card
yeah.
guns?
What? Oh, I never saw that one.
Well, it sits at the table and it shoots cards at you.
Oh.
Before I get to the intro, because you said that, there's actually a new version of Monopoly that's called Monopoly Cash Grab. That's legit
Yes,
a
it's got the
gun.
gun. Yes.
It's a gun that you load with Monopoly money and like chance cards, and you shoot it up in the air, and you try and see how much money you can grab.
That's the sound I
That's
hear.
like a crazy dexterity game.
Yeah. So,
As if it wasn't a waste of money already.
welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast where we're entertaining the tabletop gaming community. Community. I got keys on the brain.
Yeah.
The Community Forge.
The Community Forge. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Chris Renshaw.
I'm Colin. That's
We
it.
started
Okay. Oh no, he didn't have anything. I'm sorry. I'm Cindy.
You're sorry that you're Cindy?
No, I'm sorry that I didn't go sooner. My name is Cindy. Hello.
Hi, I'm Philip, and I'm just here to entertain myself.
Nice. Man, I gotta say, this having like multiple chat rooms, just having more people in our chat. Well, that was weird.
He
I
killed
thought
it.
it was click to fade. I don't know.
I turned that off because we kept it.
Oh. Fine.
Anyways, it's great because like Sean's in the chat room. But apparently, if I was a stripper, I'd want Keyforge things stuff.
Yeah, I just saw that and laughed at it. Oh, I'm losing my phone.
So yeah, hey, it's happy post Keyforge. This is year 0 AF or K AK.
Oh my god.
Year 0 AK.
After Keyforge.
After Key Forge.
Yeah, AF is kind of... you can misinterpret that.
Yeah. This would be like a couple of years AF. Anyways, so how's it going?
That's good.
It's fine.
It's great.
Everyone had good turkey days.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was low-key.
I forgot
Parents
Thanksgiving
ordered
just
from
happened.
Cracker Barrel, and we played Say Anything.
Oh, that was fun.
Black Friday, any deals? Anybody go? Do
We
some-
did Small Business Saturday.
Hulu.
Well,
It was a deal.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
took
went to the...
advantage.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we went to the bead store.
Oh, that's
Is it-
right. I heard about this.
It's called
Yeah.
All About Beads and Games now.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
changed the name.
Yeah.
And games.
Yeah, it's great. It's the games or the store that has the most collection or the biggest variety of new games is
And
a bead-
games in stock in general.
That's what I meant. Like games
Yeah.
in stock
Yeah.
is the bead store.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
But yeah, their prices are usually a little higher than normal, but...
Well, they're MSRP usually.
Yeah, but we actually got some pretty good deals there. Like we got a
Nice.
couple of little mini expansions for Colt Express, and
I got the new Clank expansion.
oh yeah, the Expeditions, and,
Right.
And
and Targi. We got Targi.
So how is the expeditions? I'm assuming you've played them already.
we played one of them. We played the gold side, yes. It was good. Like, so it has you mining for gold,
And get more money.
and so you can get more money as you go through. And there's also like a bonus for mining the most. And I actually ended up winning by a lot because Colin died in the depths
Yep.
and didn't get to score.
Yep.
Anyway, no, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Keith in the chat said he bought Mansions of Madness for $55. That's a deal.
That is
and
a
that
good deal.
Awesome.
And
Is this second edition?
drop mix for 30
Probably
bucks?
considering it was
Oh yeah, down
Wow.
from 90. Yeah.
Yeah.
And drop mix down $30
And
from $100.
Dropbix you could if you do enough searching, I'm think you can find drop mints around at least 50 on a normal basis.
Yeah, people got some great
I
deals.
think I might start doing what Falcon suggested. I'm now Chillip.
So we have C4.
That's what they said. Yeah,
I love it.
I like Chillip.
Chillip. Yeah,
Chillip.
there we go.
You're too chill because you're Chillip.
And it's still that awkward, only one L for it.
Mm-hmm. That's
it
right.
Still works.
Completely confuse people.
Awesome. It is definitely second
All
edition.
I gotta do is just walk into a Starbucks. Yeah, I'm Philip with a C, and that's how they'll do it.
Chillip.
They'll put PHIC.
Exactly.
I feel like
C
you
at
need
the
to be
end or
wearing
something.
shades during the podcast for that. Like, hey guys, I'm Chillip.
They're in the car.
You want my sunglasses? They're in my purse, right there.
Are they like?
They're right there.
Girly and pink?
No,
Then I don't
they're
want
tortoise shell.
But guys, my neck's a little chilly. I don't know about you, but I think this Saturday I'm gonna need to bust out that scarf over there.
Oh.
My PAX scarf, because we're going to PAX soon.
PAX Unplugged. All of us. Which is super exciting.
Only for one day, though.
Got the big caravan
Only one day.
and one
Just
car.
Saturday.
That's right.
Oh,
That isn't a caravan. It's a SUV.
You dodged that bullet.
Oh.
You're fired.
All right, so
These are the jokes, kid.
let's start the show off with not really news.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
So I looked at the news for the past 2 weeks that I found, and it was all stupid. It was, granted, we're in the holidays, so that was probably a lot of it, but it's like this sale and that sale. And also, Upper Deck got the rights to James Bond, so there's going to be a legendary James Bond.
I think like
There's
two
something
companies
else.
merged, but who cares,
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I'm not saying there wasn't any news. I'm just like, nothing really worth talking about.
Or making
except,
jokes
Nothing
about.
dad joke worthy.
yeah, that too.
That one.
Except, funny, after our show last week, which our show last week we did, or last time, did the, where we did the top 10 games that were released in spring. Like, literally the next day, almost, ICV2 released the updated charts that said for summer 2018.
Nice.
So we won't game show this like before, but I did want to I did want to talk about this because I felt like, especially when we were talking about
recent, obviously.
this is this is games that are popular in 2018.
Right.
But moving from spring to summer.
Okay.
So I got the board games, and I got now normally you can't see these unless you're a pro member, which I am.
Aren't you lucky?
It's a subscription you pay for.
Yeah.
But
good,
it
though.
helped. I pay for it for other reasons besides just getting pro articles like this. Anyways, so top 10 board games. Catan reclaimed number 1.
Yeah, that doesn't
Oh, yeah,
surprise me.
So yeah, you got like Catan at 1, Pandemic at 2, obviously. Gloomhaven still holding strong at 3.
Oh.
And if you
and
read
spoilers.
the article, the only reason they said that Gloomhaven was at number 1 is they ran into supply shortages. Like the demand was there. And they said it's actually really weird that a game like Gloomhaven, that's as expensive and as huge as it is, has kept this trail where it's like people are still like putting down. Like there was one of the articles or one of the quotes in there was store owner thought that they overbought and that they like really overstocked and they sold out and needed more.
Nice.
That's amazing.
So then you got like Scythe, Azul. The Choose Your Own Adventure game.
Oh yeah,
I think that's it's the Z-Man game.
Yeah.
One. And then like Ticket to Ride, Sagrada, Carcassonne, King Domino.
Cool.
So not
were those two separate games,
what?
or was it Ticket to Ride: Sagrada?
No,
No,
Ticket to
Sagrada's
Ride and then Sagrada.
That would be something.
I didn't hear a pause in there. I was like,
dice.
oh, are they?
Dice
Well, I was
placement version of Ticket to Ride.
So
That'd be
honestly,
interesting.
big changes. So Choose Your Own Adventure is kind of like the one thing on like the rest of this list is very similar to what we saw before.
Yeah.
What was interesting is when you switch over to the card and dice games version of the list. Guess what the number 1 card and dice game is?
In summer.
In summer 2018. I can almost guarantee you will not get this right.
Okay.
Munchkin.
No. Philip?
I'm just kidding.
Card and dice.
Card and or dice.
Card and or dice.
Not anything Dice Masters, is it?
No.
Something magic related.
No, because that's broken out into the collectible games.
Okay, gotcha.
I
That's
guess
the
Dice Masters might be there too.
Yeah, you might be right on that one. Boss Monster.
What?
Huh.
Number one selling game, card or dice game in spring 2018.
That's interesting.
Summer, you mean?
Boss Monster. Yeah, summer.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
Like that just shows you how like this goes to show like I've been making a lot of tweets about the BGG Elite.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like one of my points that like BGG is not the industry.
Yeah. 'Cause that's a few years old at this point.
Yeah. Well, they've put out a lot of expansions and stuff
have they?
for
But
it.
it's probably also one of those games that a lot
It's also
of people,
cheap.
Yeah. So when you are starting to get into the hobby, you're like, oh, what's this game? And you buy it, and it's like, yeah. So it's going to have a lot
It's
of
also
selling.
got curb appeal, where you see that box and you're immediately
2014.
Well, okay.
you're
and
immediately
Yeah,
intrigued.
I mean, you throw it up there, and I mean that is a vintage Nintendo game
Yeah.
cartridge.
Yeah.
And the dungeon building
Even the
box
thing
shape, yeah.
would
Yeah.
appeal to a lot of like the RPG type people.
And
I
it's
feel
not a
like.
bad game.
Yeah.
Like it gets a bad. It's not like a super complex game.
Yeah.
Keith asked, did Boss Monster get put in Target?
It's possible.
It may have. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that could surge the
yeah.
sales. Yeah.
Target exclusive expansion.
Then you got Mystic Veil is the number 2. That was weird
Oh.
too. Yeah, Mystic Veil is number 2.
When did the Conclave come out, or has that come out yet?
You know what? That might have been.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that was around convention season. It was when that. Codenames at number 3. Bang.
The dice game or the
No,
card game.
just
the
Bang.
card game.
The card game.
Wow.
Bang.
Huh.
That has
and
expansions. I don't think the dice game has.
Yeah.
It might have like an expansion.
Oh, okay. Okay.
then Marvel Legendary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming for that one, I wonder if they they have to they take everything as a whole. Like
I
I
would
doubt it's the
imagine they
core
would.
set.
Mhm.
Because like the next one is Legend of the Five Rings LCG. I doubt they're talking the core set.
Yeah.
They're probably grouping
Everything
everything
together.
together.
That would make
Because they were doing like the pack a week or something like that for a while, right?
Well, they do it. They've done it twice. One last year and one during. You're right. During summer, they released a pack a week for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's
That
yeah.
might be it.
Because I did think it was weird that it was on the list, but yeah,
Oh, with L5R.
what
Oh.
that L5R was on the
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Keith says Boss Monster is at Target.
Okay, so there, that's
That would
probably,
help
That
it.
would help that. And then with like Falcon Ash says that they always bring Boss Monster to their game meetups.
That's
It's
good,
not a
though.
bad idea because it's also small space.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it's a good gateway game for a
Right.
video gamer. It's like a video gamer gateway game.
That's cool.
Yeah, I haven't played it myself, but I've always been intrigued to try it.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
we could bring it or we could play it. It's
Yeah.
just we usually end up like needing to play other things.
Mhm.
right. It's interesting how all of a sudden now that games are, are more popular in Target, they're getting more like purchases, I guess.
Well, that's the point. That's why
Right.
I was
No, I
like,
think it's great.
Target sales are a good. Like everyone was like,
No,
oh,
it's
it's gonna
great.
kill the friendly local game store. I'm like, no, but it's a good thing because those people weren't going to the store anyways.
they
Yeah.
what do they define as the seasons? Do they have like a?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, in
because
this?
because you were talking about the surge in Marvel Legendary. I was like,
Yeah.
well, Infinity War came out.
Oh, haba.
I'm just looking to see if they have dates on here on this article. I don't think they just say summer, but I don't know.
What starts and what ends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I wonder if it's like June to August.
Because I honestly
Yeah,
think
I wonder
that
if
could
it's
be,
like June to August. Like I bet they do winter as like I don't know. That's a weird.
because Infinity War came out end of April.
Yeah.
So I mean that could spike a surge in
Well, also Legendary is one of those that
Marvel game.
Marvel Legendary is a good starter game, but
It
I have a
is.
feeling it's
a
always.
good deck builder
Yeah.
for starting. Yeah.
But yeah, they did do a new box set. They did a Marvel Studios version, Phase 1.
Oh, okay.
So there's and to finish out the list, number 7, Cards Against Humanity,
Oh,
of course.
It's still up there.
Number 8, DC deck building game.
Awesome.
Number 9, Super Fight,
Yes.
and then number 10 is Rick and Morty. And I'm assuming by that they just combined them
The
all
whole-
All the Rick and
because
Morty.
there's like 5 of them.
That would make sense.
Yeah, it's good to see super fights on that list. We should-
Yeah. Well, that you know what? I wonder if they include in the super fight, except for I just realized they called it sup fur fight. They put an F in there. Because they have for super fight one of those like loot crate things where you can subscribe and get like a new deck sent to you every month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I wonder. I'm assuming that's probably in there as well. And I guess there's a big enough fan base that does.
It's such a good game.
I mean, it's a better than Cards Against Humanity game.
There,
If you've got a crowd that's tired of Cards Against Humanity but doesn't want to play other games,
Yeah.
it's not a bad option.
or all the random offbeat expansions or unlicensed like what was it, Crabs Against Humidity?
Yeah.
Adjust
Oh,
humidity.
yeah.
My wife asked me about that. She's like, "What is Crabs Adjust Humidity?"
Yeah, like it's
Oh
it's
my
a
gosh.
It's like a standalone expansion or something like that.
well, it's
Yeah.
it's
Is that the one that comes with the crab hands?
No, that's
No.
You've Got Crabs.
yeah,
Oh.
it's the
It's basically the I think they released the. It's like public domain for the
Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity is public domain esque.
it's
You just
the-
can't call it Cards Against Humanity.
Remember that
Gotcha.
one Futurama episodes? We represent but are legally distinct from the Lollipop Guild.
That's funny.
Yeah. They're also talking about the new Azul, which I've officially found. Somebody coined it in one of the Slacks I'm in. They called it a tool. Like they
Okay.
spelled it A2UL and having the two replace the Z.
Instead of
like Azul
it's
too,
Azul.
So it's a tool. Like it doesn't sound. It looks like a lot better, but then it
No,
sounds.
I gotcha. Because
But,
a tool makes it sound like it's
Yeah,
bad.
but they're talking about that. I feel like I need to play the first one first. I still haven't played Azul yet.
I like it better than Colin, but I think we've each only played it once.
Colin's a great guy. How can you say that about him?
What?
You just said you like Azul better
Oh.
than Colin.
That's not what I meant.
I'll be in my room.
But it is on my wish list. Like it is something that I would like to.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I forgot what we were doing today. My bad.
So just make that your number 5.
Then again, you did talk about like your wish list being like when I was like, oh, let's do a wish list. And Colin's like, I have 20 games on my wish list. I had to kind of scrape the barrel to get
Was
a
it
wish.
20 or was it 50? You said you had 51 of something.
Oh no, that's the booze I'm planning to stop by
Oh, the
at
booths.
PAX.
The booths at PAX. Okay, gotcha.
By the way, hold on. Let's have a bet. Did Philip create a top 5 or create a wish list?
No.
Yeah, there we go.
What do I win?
No, somebody in the chat room's gonna. Which, by the way, go ahead and start thinking about wish list games because that's going to be our question this week. For
Woo.
this week, what we're giving away is this nice Easy Roller dice mat for when you're rolling your nice metal dice.
So you don't break your table.
Yeah,
right.
but this will work for any dice, you know.
Yeah,
Especially if you have
definitely.
a glass table.
Yeah, if you have a glass table.
Essential.
Yeah, this would be
Essential
essential if you've got
for
a
the
glass
glass table.
table.
Is this what? No, it's not. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I played King of Tokyo or no, King of New York on a glass table once. I
that was
never wanted to
awful.
go back.
That was awful.
It was like
That's where
you-
the box comes in.
Yeah.
You flip the
That
box
is a,
upside
that is
down.
a very nice game, Matt.
Yeah, it's like a very well done playmat basically, but it's smaller.
I thought it was going to be one of those magnetic corner deals.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So that was our substitute for news, because like I said, there was not a whole lot worth
Mhm.
additionally talking about. So, let's talk. Let's go in order of what we've played, and actually get Philip to talk.
Okay.
I want to talk about A Song of Ice and Fire, the miniatures game.
Yeah. I'm not really that excited about it.
So we got this in. This is from Simon.
Couldn't even fake it. Sorry, guys.
So, because we've been playing a lot more miniatures,
Uh-huh.
like the build your armies games, I got in the Song of Ice and Fire version from Simon because it looked cool. I heard a lot of people raving about it,
Mhm.
so I thought it'd be interesting. You're gonna hear people when they refer to this as a rank and file miniatures game, and what
A
that
what?
means is that instead of having just like dudes that you just move around, there are trays, and like you have
yeah.
put minis in trays, and the
Oh.
whole unit. And when you pull enough guys out, like when the tray is empty, that unit's dead.
Hmm.
Like the units
Ah.
are its hit points, basically.
That's interesting. Okay.
The original Warhammer Fantasy did this.
Sure.
The Room Wars miniature game is like this. So
I guess it's an easy way to keep track of your health.
bottom line, well, it's also it's to represent the more traditional method of fighting, which is when you have legions of units that all march together. It's to simulate that.
Okay.
Which makes sense for a theme like Game of Thrones, because that's probably what, like, I haven't seen any of the show. Which just isn't based on the show. This is A Song of Ice and Fire, not Game of Thrones.
Yes.
But bottom line up front, I'm kind of, while I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it either. I think the only reason I wouldn't play this game more is because it's a rank and file game. Is that I found out that between playing Rune Wars and playing this, I just don't like the whole let's just march the tray. I like having the individual units that I'm placing around, because to me it just feels clunky moving those around.
Okay.
Like when you've got two guys that are like, yeah, and it's
Give me my 8 TIE fighters on a field.
Yeah, like when your guys are facing this way, and it's like I need to like to turn, and it's not like my guy's just like, oh, he's right there, I'm going to shoot there instead.
I like the way you portrayed that in audio form. I didn't even have to see you. I could hear it.
So, but having said that, of the rank and file games I've played, this is really good.
Oh, yeah?
It was very good.
It was for more than just a minute, because like it's not just straight a miniatures game like Game of Thrones, and the books have a lot of political aspects. Well, there's a whole I pulled it out here. There's a whole like political track. So not like when you build your units, you can build, like Philip built an all combat unit, but he didn't get to take advantage of this tray at all, because you have to use up some of your points, which means yes, you have less fighty types, but you can use some of them to have like you can have non-combat units like Tyrion Lannister or Cersei Lannister. They're not fighters. They're like your schemers. And so instead of activating a combat unit, you can activate these guys and put them on the board, which then help your combat units. Like there's tactic cards you can draw that can like Philip did one that like allowed me you play them just like they're like action cards that you can play. Another really cool mechanic that a lot of other minis games don't have is it had some card play aspects into it as well. But this allows you, like there's one here that allows you to draw more up. There's like things that allow you to heal some of your units to make a unit go attack again. You can't move them again, but you could attack somebody again.
You just swing in the other arm.
Yeah. So like, but and also it was nice in that the dice system was just, I rolled hits, you rolled to defend, and it wasn't like some of the Warhammer ones where it's
like Risk. Like you just roll and figure out what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, and in addition, it's also very thematic in the sense that they have, it's neat in that there's like 5 different modes of play, with each one being a different book, like a Game of Thrones, a Clash of Kings, a Storm of Swords, Feast for Crows, Winds of Winter, and each one's a different style of game. Like one's like a King of the Hill style game, and one's like Last Man Standing, or like different objective style things. So
nice.
All in all, like I said, if it wasn't a rank and file game, I would really enjoy this game. But having said that, it's it's a good game if you were like someone that played Warhammer Fantasy or Rune Wars, because Fantasy Flight was like selling off all the stuff at the Fantasy Flight holiday sale. So I imagine that game's dying really soon. So if you like that style of game, I'd definitely give this a try. Definitely prefer it over that. It's just not that game for me. I think I found that game for me, but I'll talk about that later.
Were you one of those guys in like RTS games like Age of Empires, Civilization? You like select your units individually? Okay, not a group. Just you go here. You go there too.
No, and that I did do the group because I'd always have like mobs of units, and it was always impossible to control.
I had a hard time getting variety in that game. It was like, yeah, just a whole bunch of soldiers. Go.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's.
What made that stuff easier for me was to, like, if I had a lot of the map filled out, it's like, oh, I'm going to build up all these units and I'm going to send them over here anyway. Just rally point it over there. So as soon as they spawn, they just go.
Yeah.
That was.
So did you have any thoughts? So other than like, obviously it's not the game for you, but what did you think of it?
It did play very nicely. I mean the minis are extremely well sculpted.
We painted them beforehand.
Yeah, we painted that. Did I bring my?
What?
Oh no, because I was playing the Starks.
Yeah.
So like I think I brought my Lannister mini anyway, but I was still playing the Starks. It was an okay game, but yeah, it's just not the whole rank and file with the large trays of stuff. That's a little too complicated.
Yeah. So yeah, good game if you're into that style.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. You want to talk Montana now, or you want to talk The Arrival?
We could do Montana.
Okay.
Because Montana,
Do it.
what you were going to talk about last time.
Yeah. So, this Montana.
I prefer South Dakota.
Ow. You said it on my finger.
I
Okay.
was setting it down
Sorry.
into an empty space. You reached your hand in.
Anyway,
Yes.
so Montana was a game.
We have a question.
What?
Is there a mechanic in this game where
No,
you
there
can,
isn't.
where you can find yourself a wife and she can raise you rabbits on a rabbit farm?
No.
Oh, there's no rabbits in
Then
this.
I don't want to play.
What is that a reference to?
That is a Hunt for Red October reference.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Bucha!
Why is that Montana?
The
Because
executive officer.
The executive was like, I would like to live in Montana.
Oh, okay.
I will find a wife, and we will raise rabbits.
I never saw or read it.
And I will drive a pickup truck.
Be careful, Mr. Ryan. There are things in here that don't react kindly to bullets.
Anyways, Montana.
Montana was a game that Colin and I kickstarted, and we
The Heritage Edition.
the Heritage Edition,
Yes.
and we finally got it several months late, and I
All
was
right.
super irritated.
Question.
What?
When you say Heritage Edition, does that matter? Like,
It's,
was this
it's
a
like
not retail.
deluxe version.
Okay, so like, but is this a brand new game or is this a reprint of an
No,
existing
it's a brand
game?
new game, isn't it?
Okay,
There was no. It was out there
Well, I don't
several
know
months
anything.
before by White Goblin and European.
okay. So somebody
market
else picked it up to
for-
bring it to a new market
Yeah, for
and
American.
a deluxe edition.
Mhm.
Okay, just checking.
I didn't know that. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we were supposed to get this in like April, and we finally got it in October.
Yeah, I think so. Late October.
I was mad, especially because they were selling it at Dice Tower Con. I was so mad. Anyway, so we
Been
finally
there,
got
done
it.
that.
We finally got it, and I was like, I was having pretty negative feelings about. I'm like, I don't want to play, and then I loved it, and now I just want to play it all the time. So I'm glad, even though I had to wait forever, I'm glad that it finally came. So the cool thing about this game is it actually has a spinner. There's a
Ew.
spinner.
Is this
So-
wow.
So I mean, it's nothing terribly exciting about it. You just spin to determine what kind of people, what
I
kind
mean,
of workers you're gonna get,
That takes you back to your like old school
right?
like Candyland and
Right? Well,
Candyland
Candyland didn't have a
spinner.
spinner.
It was
I,
just
I'm just
cards.
talking like
Cards.
old school games in
Yeah.
that genre.
Yeah.
Life.
So
Life, yes, the game of life. Euthanasia.
yeah. So I don't know. The spinner's cool. Yeah, but the spinner, the only purpose of it is to determine what kind of workers you get, because the different workers do different things. I mean, you can use any worker anywhere on the board, but if you send the worker to the spot that they are most qualified to go to, it's more efficient, because you can send one worker to a spot that it's qualified for versus two workers for a spot that they're not, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like everybody has their individual like little player boards, and you don't really do anything on that other than like store your resources and stuff. But then there's the
It's a little bit of a player aid too, because it
player
tells
aid,
you
yeah.
everything that you can do.
yeah, and then you have these hexagon. Are these hexagons?
They're
Whatever.
hexagon-like.
Yeah. So you have these like little, hexagon-like shaped things, and you form them together to make your player, not player board, but
The map.
yeah, your map basically. And that's what you're building your settlements onto. And then you have the actual like resource board, which is where you put your workers down and collect your resources. You can go to the market and you can get like upgrading goods and get special other goods, and it's just so cool. And I love the resources. Like we got Are all the resources wood like this, or is this just because we got the Heritage Edition?
They aren't screen printed in the original.
So we have these
But
lovely
the
screen printed.
there's canteens in there. Those are punchboard
Ow.
in the original.
Ow. So my favorite are the pumpkins. They're so stinking cute. I love them, and I love saying the word pumpkin. Like, I don't know why. Every time I play this game, just saying the word pumpkin makes me so happy. And there's little cows, and the people are just cool. And guys, this game is just so cute. I love it. The little.
There it
Oh,
is.
There it is.
she
Yeah.
brought out the
See the
sheepy sheep voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
I'm officially dubbing that the sheepy sheep voice.
Cows.
It's an
But
animal. It's an animal voice.
there's actually like a market, like you go to like an auction kind of thing.
Yeah.
And pumpkins are used for the bidding resource.
You bid with pumpkins. It's so cute. Yeah, and so it's basically a race game. The first person to place all of their little settlement tiles on the board wins, and that's it. Like, everybody
Is that
will
a
get
sheriff?
what?
No, that's like your person.
Oh,
that
this
goes
is your
to the
person
auction.
that goes to the market.
Okay.
That's your
gotcha.
fancy pants
Yeah.
person.
So
'Cause you got the fancy pants.
everybody will get the same amount of turns. So if the first player is the person who places all their things first, everybody has one more turn until that round ends.
And then tiebreakers,
then there
who
are
has the most
tiebreakers.
resources left.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, so it's whatever. What's the word? Just a race game. There
Yeah,
we
it's
go. It's a race game, and it's a lot of fun. Like, there's certain ways that you can like get more than you can get extra settlements onto your thing, like 4 in a row, and there's certain spots on the board that let you automatically place 2 and things like that. So there's some ways to mitigate, and the cows actually get you free resources and stuff because you're either I guess you're selling it to get something. Maybe.
Sure, yeah, you're for, like
'Cause you're-
feeding your
there's-
people or like expending resources to build the buildings and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't know. The theme's kind of thin on this one, but it's
A Western game with thin theme.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes!
You scared me.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
Hang on.
he's not done with that.
And guess what? It's Clemens Franz. It's so beautiful.
Oh, that's why I'm not really enthused by the artwork.
I love it. It's
You
so
said Lorenzo looked good.
You see what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
What, the Britain flag?
Yeah.
That's 'cause
Don't
it's
you?
English
Everybody
rules.
does that for English. That's the sign for English language is
Yeah.
the British
So
flag.
the weird thing to me though,
I do.
That I-
There's
It is called English.
It is called English, but some websites have been doing English traditional, and they'll put the British flag next to it, and then
Yeah.
English simplified, and they'll put the American
Oh,
flag
yeah.
next to it.
so
the Queen's English.
there
Sorry.
are 2 things I dislike about this game. Or 3 things I dislike about this
Number
game.
1, it's a Western game.
No. Number 1, the lady's eyes on the front of the box are
Oh
creepy.
my
I should have never
God.
pointed it out to you.
Her eyes are creepy. Number 2,
And they're everywhere.
Number 2, there's sheep on the box and no sheep in the game. And number 3, it smells weird. Guys, it smells weird. I don't know. Like, just here, smell the resources.
I think that's just like the
No,
smell of
here.
screen printing or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. I got to see this
Here,
though, because
smell-
I'm all
smell the
about game
meeples.
smells. Like when I bought Keyforge, I took the decks out and I was just
Smell the meeples. They smell so funny,
Like
guys.
that feel of like magic cards when you first open them up.
I never smelled my magic
Well,
cards.
I smell the punch boards. I do that.
It's like,
Like,
smelling a new book.
I saw a picture that was like, if they made a woman's or a woman's fragrance that was the smell of an open pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they'd be unstoppable.
Oh my word! It just
I mean, that's
smells.
standard smelling.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Really? You
I
think?
didn't pick up on it too much.
I think it smells so strange.
I mean, it smells wooden, which they're wooden meeples, right?
Yes, that is a fact.
Because it smells like my scythe box, but that's because my
I
scythe
don't know,
box is
'cause
mostly wood at this
It
point.
smells like
All right, Philip.
I don't know.
All right.
It smells weird.
Oh, is there a kitty behind you now?
Yeah. Just taking a big whiff over there. Oh
It
my
smells
word.
like wood to me.
It smells like something funky.
He's gonna be like, it smells like maple.
No, there's
With
there
a
is
hint of oak.
there is a little bit of like a burnt wood smell to it,
Yeah, something. I don't know. It's bizarre.
like they
And-
were laser cut
Yeah.
and then painted.
Now that
Mm.
we've fully established what the game smells like,
Exactly.
Anyway, so
Tom is right. It smells like Teen Spirit.
so generally though, I mean, not generally. In general, I really
so
like
if that's
this
your
game.
if that's your criteria for purchasing a video game, not a video game,
A board
a board
game.
game,
Mhm.
or a video game. I mean, if you like the way the video game box smells too.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah. If you like the way your game smells, Cindy recommends this 11 out of 10.
I do not, because I don't like the smell. It's gross.
But
But
I want to talk about the time length on this because
oh
we
yeah,
have this set up, played, tear down, the two of us in 30 minutes.
Wow.
But
It does say
It,
2 to 4
it
players
would
can
go
do it.
longer with
has-
more players, I think.
it has the same kind of feeling I get from Kingdom Builder I get from this.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's replacing Kingdom Builder, but it feels like a thinky game, but in a short time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. And we've played this 4 times in 1 month, which is extremely unusual.
Wow.
Yes, extremely unusual because of the mass amount of games that we have and have to play. And this will easily make it into my top 25 by the end of the year.
Nice.
Easily. If I were
25.
I were doing
Ooh.
like a new updated list, cuz I highly recommend Montana, whether it's Heritage Edition or not.
Because I want to make a point of putting in Railroad Inc. into every episode. Colin got to try Railroad Inc.
Yeah,
on
But
Monday.
he's not going to talk about it because I made him have a bad experience because I was a little brat.
I was
Oh,
a little,
really?
I was a little rushed in that.
What happened?
I was a little brat. I got mad because he
But you
wasn't
still
home.
got to
Yeah.
play it.
I got to play it, yeah.
But honestly, though, like at least you've gotten like everyone's first play is garbage.
Mhm.
Like because everyone like by the end of the game are like, oh, it's like Scythe, and that's like, oh, this is how that works now.
Mhm.
You have to kind of do that first scoring to realize like, oh, right, I should have been focusing on this. So you've got that play out of the way now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
There
don't.
was some stuff I realized at the end when you were scoring me up. I was like, oh, that doesn't count. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, especially when you talk about the longest roads and what's connected to what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you
It's a
just
little tricky.
you know, you got that play out of the way. But we did play something before that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we got a copy of The Arrival.
I love that we're now having a chat conversation about smells in games. Like
we really?
talking about the Magic the Gathering, apparently they changed the ink from year to year, so that changed the smells.
Oh wow.
And then Falcon Ash mentions that Gears of War 3 had an odd smell now that you say that.
See?
It's that chainsaw, right?
Exactly.
Or what is it? What is it called in that?
I don't know what it's called, but it's just a chainsaw on the bottom
It's
of
a
a rifle.
machine gun
Yeah.
chainsaw.
So yeah, we got The Arrival by
Cryptozoic.
Cryptozoic. And this is my first Martin Wallace game I've played.
Mine too.
Mine 3, I
And-
think.
Yes, it is.
Okay. There you go. Colin knows
And
more than me.
it boils down to an area control game, but you have the option of partially
Wait. 73 to 90 minutes? What?
75
Oh,
with
it's
the
a 5.
but-
Sorry
The
to
font
interrupt.
choice is a little weird.
Sorry to interrupt.
Like I will say when I saw the box cover to this,
Guys,
like-
it's ugly.
I thought the way the font is, he told me it was about Ireland. I was kind of shocked because the font makes me
Yeah.
think of Aladdin.
Yeah,
hand me
that's
the-
what I'm going with.
So when I
I'm
first
working it
saw
out there.
when I first saw the rules, or not the rules, when I first saw the box art, I was like, "Oh, it's a pretty princess and the dragon, and she's slaying a dragon." And Colin's like, "Cindy, look closer." I'm like, "Oh, that is not a pretty
yeah, some
princess."
demon creature
and a
floating
dragon.
over a lake, and the woman is like wearing like a burlap bag or something.
Because I thought that it was like Rapunzel or something. I don't know. Because I
It's
thought,
it is
I had no
vivid and
idea.
colorful,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
someone might like it.
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's
I'm
not
sure.
exactly.
It's not-
It's got
it's
that
not
Celtic
horrendous
look.
art.
It
It's
is-
just
yeah.
weird.
it is weird.
It's like an alternative history to Ireland kind of thing.
Yeah, like
And-
fantasy Irish history.
So what it is this evil lord is ruling over Ireland, and he has this demonic force called the Fomari. They're spreading all over, and each person is representing a tribe, and you're fighting back these things and trying to exert your dominance most in the region to win the game. And there's actually 2 different ways you can win, or 2 different end condition. Like, you can get corruption throughout the game, and if you get over a certain amount, that'll trigger end game, or
Number of rounds.
number of rounds. But yeah, if you end by any reason, and the Fomari don't outnumber the players, which is what happened in all the plays that I did, then you'll score for your honor or your regular points. And if they do have more than everyone total, then you will score for whoever has the least amount of corruption.
Welcome to Fantasy Island. Excuse me, Fantasy Ireland is
Ooh.
how it was phrased in the chat room.
Because that's how I said it.
Is that how you said it?
I did.
Okay.
I missed that.
You all did miss it.
So
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Whatever.
what I think the interesting part of this game is, for me, what I really liked is it's broken into two phases. There's the earning phase and the action phase.
Mhm.
And the earning phase, you have three stacks of cards. You take turns pulling a card off of one stack that has like symbols on the back. You don't look at the front of it. And one at a time, you'll place them in front of you until everyone has 4 cards.
Would you say you were drafting cards?
I guess so.
Not, eh.
I mean, you don't know what you're getting,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't quite
You
call it
do
a
an
draft.
you do. You have a general idea.
Yeah.
It's a blind
Well,
draft.
But you still have almost everything. You have
He's right. It's a blind draft.
Okay.
sure.
It's a term I haven't used before. And you will choose one of those rows to block off. You're saying,
The top row usually has more resources, but it has more corruption.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
bottom row has
The inverse.
okay.
Less and less.
Yeah.
So you choose one of those rows to block out. You flip over the third card. You choose another row to block out. And then you finally flip over your fourth card. And,
and you
everything,
see what you got.
everything in the row that you didn't block
Yeah.
on all 4 cards
is
is what you get.
to collect.
I think that's pretty interesting. Like you can
That was
have
cool.
a general idea of what you're gonna get, but it might be in the wrong row.
Uh-huh.
But there's also these tactic tiles, and one of them, they're like special bonus actions you can do, and one of them actually allows you
Points you can
to
get.
it allows you to move one of those blockers to a different row in another round,
Yeah.
and another. Yes, a lot of them will get you points, and that's the main ones that I was hanging on to are ones that will score you points. And for different player counts, there's a different amount of rounds. For the 2-player game, it's 6 rounds. For 3-player, it's 5 rounds.
4-player, it's 4 rounds.
Yeah. And
So one thing that after we played like one round,
mhm.
I was thinking about this game because the only reason I played this is because Colin needed another play. Like that was like. This was sold as a game that would be more appealing to like when I described the way our show works,
Mhm.
because Cryptozoic sent us this. Like they sent us DC Spyfall because it was like, okay, you and Philip were probably like DC Spyfall. They sent them The Arrival because like, okay, they might like that. So it was like it's already not in my wheelhouse, but I did still play it.
Yeah.
However, after we did one round, I was like, if you think about this, the backbone to this game is very similar to Terraforming Mars, where you start the game out drafting in your resources and acquiring your resources, and then you spend your actions going round and round till somebody passes or till everybody passes, expending all those resources to do things.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the engine building aspect.
Yeah. So, but having said that, I think Philip would like this game.
I kind of think you would too.
Yeah, 'cause-
I think you would actually like if you.
There's
it's
a little bit of take that. Or
there's-
not take that, but it's
No,
not,
there is
well,
take
I guess it is.
There
I guess
is
it is.
take
With
that.
that corruption, you're getting
You're right.
these.
I was thinking of the wrong term.
Each person. There's a cat having fun with stuff down there.
She's messing with the camera is what it's going.
Yeah, she's been bumping this one too. Pause.
Let's get it.
Sorry,
She-
folks
oh, yeah,
in
she
the
is.
chat.
Say hey to the camera.
Hey.
Hi, Orange Kitty.
When so I have to ask, when you do a voice for her, what's the voice sound like?
I don't know if I've done for her.
Yeah, I do deeper voice for bigger
It's
cats.
got to be a deeper voice. It's female, so it's harder to do for.
Just do a whatever Sylvanas Windrunner's voice is, and you'll be set.
So is she going upstairs?
Did you
All right.
help him real quick?
Yeah.
Pat.
I
It's
saw
like-
that too.
Well, it was caught on the chair. I didn't see that it was caught on the chair. So I can explain why you would like this, but the so everyone's getting corruption.
Mhm.
We were talking about. With that corruption, you're getting your own fair share of these monsters, the Famari,
Mhm.
and you choose where to spread them. You have to use your Famari on your turn. You
You
cannot,
cannot pass
you
if you
cannot
can play
not
them
use
somewhere.
Okay.
And so if you spread into an empty space, you're just putting like one down. But if you're spreading into where someone else is, you're putting you're throwing one away for every disc that you're replacing in that. Oh, yeah. I guess I should have said you can like build up your buildings in an area to up to like 3 high, so that you have more defense.
Yeah. So basically, you're killing off other players' people, or your own potentially even.
Yeah, if you want to, you could potentially do that if you want to like reallocate it somewhere else, because you have a limited amount of these building pieces.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which I ran out like in round 3 of our game.
Oh, did you?
On Monday.
Huh.
So that was
Yeah,
that was interesting. So I focused more on the tactic tiles and point scoring thing, which did me pretty good because there's certain things on there that score you like 3 points for every building that's this high, and I got like 2 of those in one round. I was like, hey, I'm getting like 18 points.
Wow.
I got a nice even 100 points to finish the game. But it wasn't that big. It was like 6 points was the difference.
I think we were at 109.
Oh, 109.
And you were at 100. Yeah, so it wasn't that big.
No. And I was not necessarily doing the best playing. Like, I don't think I was utilizing my skills very well.
I think
Oh yeah,
you
and
did better than I
there's
did.
some player power. It's like just a slight rule to remember.
Yeah.
Like your player power, you could do 1, 2, or 3 actions, whereas the standard you have to do 2 actions or pass.
I didn't even break 100, so he
Okay.
did better than me.
Roger's in the chat. Hi, Roger.
Hey, Roger.
So,
Hello.
yeah. This is one of those, and it was pretty quick. And you said it was faster when it was just you two. I wouldn't play
No.
this at 4. It says it goes up to 4.
Mhm.
I don't think I'd play this at 4. I think I'd cap it at 3.
So one of my biggest complaints about this was, and I don't know if I'm guessing he was probably better when he played with you guys because he knew stuff more. But it seemed like Colin was taking forever to take his turns, and that
I think more so I was realizing the depth of the game
Yeah,
more so
maybe.
than you.
possibly, but it was really frustrating me because I wasn't terribly enjoying it, and then so it felt like it was just dragging on.
That can happen when you're not enjoying a game. It'll feel like it's dragging.
Yeah.
We didn't have
That could
that
just be part
problem
of it.
because I think we were very reactionary. Like, I
Mhm.
wasn't putting a whole lot of thought into my turns. I was just kind of doing
I feel like I
things.
probably wasn't either. Maybe I don't know.
Like, I mean, because you have your resources, so you have very limited
Right.
thing. Like, I do
I
like
kept
that.
not getting enough
like, there's
building discs.
Yeah, like there was that. Like, do I spread out or do I go up?
Yeah.
So maybe I
Mhm.
wasn't playing right, but I wasn't taking
Yeah.
forever. But yeah, you could have some AP.
Yeah, and the annoying thing, like I kept getting a whole bunch of swords,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't near Famari to fight them, and they weren't. And like I was on port cities, but they weren't, so I couldn't, attack them from afar, kind of thing, like you could do. And so it was so frustrating. So I was just like, I can't do anything. Like it seemed like half my turns, I just couldn't do anything, and it was super aggravating.
And with that, you may have said something in one direction. 3 may be the sweet spot for this game,
yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
like to where everyone's spreading out quite a bit, but it's
Yeah.
not, because we could kind of be on our
We
own.
were
We
on our
barely
own,
touched
yeah.
the whole game.
We made the Famari touch each other, and that was.
I don't
about
know.
it.
There was that one area of the board down in like the bottom left that was
Mhm.
just like not touched at all.
You had like one on a port, but it was.
No, I'm talking
just
about the
working
other
around you.
side.
Oh yeah.
That side didn't seem like there
Mhm.
was anything going on because you started to get down into the side where I was like by the end of the game,
hmm
but like that other side was just like pristine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But there's also the lower point scoring area, so
Yeah.
there's that. So you can go down there and be safe, but yeah, you're not going to be getting very many points if that's the way we score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say I enjoyed this game. I don't like the overall look of it,
Uh-huh.
but I think it'd be easy enough to teach to a non-gamer as like an area control introduction.
Like an introduction to area control.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I get that.
Yeah. Like I didn't like it, but I wasn't going to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Philip might though.
Like I did make the point though. I kind of wanted to take like some of the Council 4 miniatures or some sort of miniature to replace the Famori with.
Mm-hmm.
This game
Oh,
loves
yeah.
triangles. There are so many
It was
triangles.
awful.
There was some. The ones that I thought were unnecessary was the scoring pieces were triangles too, which made them
Yeah.
hard to grab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Famari made sense because they have 3 stats, so you got 1 in each corner.
Right.
So I
yeah,
get
but
that.
but the scoring things. Yeah, why were they triangles? I don't understand that.
There's a
We only have 1 punch. We can make it bigger or smaller.
I don't know. I think it has to do more with the thematic choice. Like somehow, I don't know enough about the history of Ireland. I imagine in some sense there's a
Well, but
Yeah, this is actually
like
a
it ties
Well,
into
maybe
some sort
'cause
of Celtic.
there's this symbol.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's kind of
here.
this is kind of a second edition.
the-
The
Power
first
3.
edition.
yeah.
The first edition was
There's a name for it, but yeah.
the first edition had
Trinity?
just little wooden discs.
Mm.
The
Yeah,
triads.
'cause
That's
that,
Oh, triad.
That's not.
that
that's
that V
different.
is throwing me off.
The what?
The V.
Oh yeah.
Arrive Sevenal.
Oh, yeah. I
You're
get
still
that.
reading it as a V, but part of the 7 also.
Yeah.
All right. So one thumb up from you.
I would give 1 thumb up. It may not be one that's gonna stick around for me necessarily, but I can
Because
see
I
people
won't play it
enjoying
with
it.
him, so.
Yeah. I wouldn't rate the game because it was never really supposed to be a game for me.
Yeah, I could get into it. If I'm playing, I would not like if I needed a game to play, it's like I'd sit down with people and play this.
Yeah. As soon as he opened the board, I'm like, I am not going to like this game. Because as we found out, for me to like a more of a less thematic game, you have to draw me in with the components, and it was
And
not.
that didn't have that.
It
for
didn't
you.
have that for me. Not saying it's not ugly. Wasn't it reminded me the board reminded me a lot of Ethnos. Do you remember when we were playing Ethnos at the Simon Expo?
Oh, I get that, Chris. I get that.
And that's another game that people say is ugly often.
Yeah. We played it like for a second, and then some dude was like, "I need a demo here." The Gathering World of Ravnica.
Ah, interesting.
So, which Ravnica holds a special place in my heart because it was like one of the first settings when I played Magic. When I came, Chloe was wanting to play and stuff. They did the Return to Ravnica, so it's kind of like represented both when I first got into Magic and when I got back into Magic big time. So, 2 big points in my life of a gamer. So it's always kind of special place for me. But and they did like a short PDF at one point that was just like, here's an idea for if you want to play Ravnica in your D&D games.
Oh,
So they
okay.
decided to make it into a full book.
Nice.
So what Ravnica is, it's a world where the entire world is a city. Like it's just a giant city. And the city,
Like Coruscant.
It's Coruscant.
yeah, it's basically Coruscant. Imagine a steampunk Coruscant.
Okay.
Oh,
I get behind
I
that.
get the steampunk feel
Yeah,
from
so
that
it's
picture.
fantasy, but it's got like there's a guild that basically is all about magic tech.
Huh.
But what happened is 10,000 years ago there was a bunch of fighting amongst all these different tribes. People got together, and 10 people got together and they forged this magical thing called the Guild Pact, which was this document that outlined 10 different guilds of Ravnica. Each one had a special place. Each one had a special
Role.
role.
almost? Yeah.
Thank you. A special role. And it was a document that kept the guilds in check. Like it was a magical that basically kept any guild from gaining one too many power. So it was like a big magical peace accord.
Gotcha.
During like the 10,000 year celebration of the Guild Pact, shortly after, it broke, or somebody dissolved it, and the guilds just went crazy. And then there's like a big storyline if you read where there was basically one of the magic planeswalkers solved this riddle and became a living Guild Pact where any law he signed was magically enforced. But he's also a planeswalker, so he travels all throughout the multiverse and only spends bits of time on Ravnica because it's not necessarily his home. So it's one of those like, there's a piece, but it's an uneasy piece because the guy enforcing the piece is not always there.
I gotcha.
And it could be it's almost like with the Doctor when they had Amy Pond on there.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, he met her when he was a little girl. I was only gone for 10 minutes. Yeah, you were gone for 20 years, dude. Like that's that kind of time gaps in when he shows up.
So that's like the basic gist of Ravnica. And what this does, one thing it offers is if you want to have a game that's less like dungeon crawly, which you can do in here, but definitely more politically focused, this is a good choice for this. In fact, I made comments when I was talking in our Dirtbag Slack that I found it really weird that this debuted around the same time that L5R, the RPG book, came out as well, because they're both very like political oriented, where there's multiple factions, each trying to vie for power behind the scenes kind of thing.
Interesting.
but this does it D&D wise. Now, it doesn't give you a whole lot of lore, but that's kind of on one of the criticisms I saw is it doesn't go deep dive. Like, kind of what I told you is about as deep as it gets.
Okay.
But there are books out there if you want to know more. This is not that book.
I have some of those books.
Those books
Back
are
when I was
great.
buying
Some
the
of them-
boxes.
Some of them are
Yeah.
great. This kind of gives you just like there's like a page for each guild that kind of gives you the backstory of the guild. But other than that, these are the mechanics. Like if I want to build a character who's in the Is It League, you mentioned, or when we were talking, there's monsters.
The monsters, yeah.
that,
It's
you know,
the weirds.
Yeah.
Are what I'm particularly
Oh
interested
yeah,
in.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The
'Cause
Is
it was
the Is It League does a lot with the weirds.
Was it a
And the
hydropyric?
My favorite was the Gelectrode.
The Gelectrode. Which
Yeah.
one was that?
It was a mana tapping creature.
Okay, yeah.
But that's the fun part is because it's based around magic. There's a lot of like magic cards in here that are referenced as D&D
Oh, yeah.
monsters
Oh,
now.
that's interesting.
And in fact, they even say like, "Hey, if you don't know what to do for a character, just go buy some Magic the Gathering stuff and find a Ravnica card of a character you like, and then make that person."
Why is that happening?
I don't know.
Because it's Facebook, probably.
yeah, but
okay.
we've had other people commenting on Facebook, and it hasn't messed.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, we logged back into the mod.
And now Kristen's watching as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, this book is great. It's one of those, if you loved Magic and you love Ravnica, you should definitely get this book. Like I want to run a Ravnica game now.
Oh, cool.
Like real bad.
Let me see.
Like we were already planning for our next D&D kind of campaign,
Yeah.
and now I kind of want to like shove that into a side pocket, and I want to play a Ravnica game. But if you're not into Magic, you probably don't need to buy this book unless when I gave you that, like, you don't have to have played Magic and enjoyed Magic to like this book. If what I described seemed interesting at all, then you should get this book and look into it. In fact, Philip said he saw it on Amazon over the weekend, over the Black Friday. It was like $10.
Yeah,
I
it was
get
Walmart,
the
but that's- yeah,
appeal.
still.
The from what you described of
Yeah.
the backstory of the Ravnica,
Yeah.
I drew a lot of correlation in my brain to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like the whole premise, like because you have like this, I can't even remember what I drew, but as you were saying, I was like 10,000 years ago, so a long, long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
the
like,
original 10
the order
guilds?
of
Yeah.
people, yeah.
The thing behind 10 guilds is because each one was the different combination of mana colors.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, but so yeah, like I said, if what I describe seem interesting, you'll probably enjoy it. If you loved Magic and love Ravnica, you'll definitely enjoy it. If you're in neither of those groups, you don't need this book. There's nothing like there's a couple of extra spells and items in here, but it's nothing you absolutely need to have. Like it, of all the books, like if you're not if that it does not sound appealing to you, then I would there's other books that I would recommend.
Gotcha.
Which you have plenty of.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just now reading Kristen is Falcon Ash.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, hello.
Oh, they did put a
Officially.
weird in there.
This
Not
makes
the one
sense
I was
now.
thinking about. The weird I really liked in the book. I want to say it was called a hydropyric. It was like a core of fire, living fire, but it was surrounded by water. And you could like see through it. You could see the fire. This is the
Is It League that does a lot of the magical experiments was blue and red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was their combination.
and like this is
Nice.
a galvanized weird. It's a core of lightning surrounded by a body of ice.
Mm.
Yeah, lots of just
Oh.
mix and matching and making it work. Like,
That's kind of cool.
So, are we ready to? Are we gonna do wish list time now?
Sure.
But no, we're not.
Oh.
We're
Oh.
gonna talk about Easy Roller Dice.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Our sponsor is Easy Roller Dice, as they always have, because they are awesome. And we are going to give away, as we mentioned before, this nice, fancy play mat or
Dice
rolling
mat.
dice mat. So, especially like you said, if you got a glass table, what I want people to do is I want people to post a number 1 through 20, random number, and in addition to that, what thing you're wanting for most from Christmas. what board game related thing.
There we go.
And preferably, if you see a number already posted on the screen, don't double up, but it's not going to kill you if you do. So yeah, and then I'm gonna roll. I got my magical dice on my finger here, and I'll roll and see who gets the thing.
Nice.
But yeah, so this is a nice looking dice mat, especially if you've got those metal dice. Don't want to ding up your table. You're gonna want this, but maybe you don't want this and you need the metal dice to go with it. Then you need to go to EasyRollerDice.com and check out the awesome products that they have there.
Indeed.
So, unfortunately, I really was wishing they were going to be at PAX.
Oh,
I looked for them.
I don't think they're going to be there, but because they were hitting a couple of other conventions, so I'm assuming that was why. But yeah, they're always at. I always see them at Origins. Their booth is great. Keith mentions Betrayal Legacy. I just got a review of that in. We need to schedule at some point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I've not seen anything yet further on the dice cups. I'm still super excited.
Haven't gotten
for them.
any. Haven't got any Kickstarter updates or anything about that.
But hey, and even if you need like a stocking stuffer, they have beard oil for all the men in your life.
And Philip's got plenty of that right now.
Plenty of beard, that is.
Plenty of beard going on. I'm gonna get to the point where I need to buy that hoodie that has the levels of beardliness going on.
So what you're saying is we need to get you some beard oil.
What's that?
Is that?
I mean, I've thought
Is
about
there a
it.
chart like how many cows your beard is worth? You trade your beard for cows.
Your beard is super thick.
It is super thick.
It's pretty amazing.
So
yeah, we'll pick a. I'm gonna let a few more posts get in here, and then we'll draw a winner. But in the meantime, I should probably
Roger, is that a legitimate board game?
I don't think it is. There's a smiley face after it.
There is a smiley face after it.
I mean, yes, everyone wishes for that, but
Peace on Earth
board
or a
game.
piece of the Earth? I mean, everyone wants their little chunk of.
Yeah.
That's why there's no peace.
Everybody wants to.
I'm gonna cut that out in editing.
What? Me singing?
Yes.
Understandable.
And soundbite it. Make it
Okay. So what we did here.
Make it Chris's ringtone when he calls you.
Oh my gosh.
No, you need to do the fart.
Oh yes, yes.
See, I could just hit the.
The cool thing is it's in stereo because I tried to move it to a different spot
I
now.
thought it sounded
and
weird.
so it's like got a little chorus on it.
So everybody
now it
but
broke again.
Everybody but Philip here. We made a wish list of things that we were wanting for this holiday season, and specifically, my wish list is less a I want this for Christmas as it is a shopping list for PAX.
I gotta find mine. There it is.
So,
are we looking at things that are like available? Like, because we were talking about like suggestions. You might want to get this.
We did that last year. We
Okay.
did suggestions. This is more of like what you're personally looking forward
Okay.
to.
All right. I'm
So
sticking.
mine don't have
sticking
to be
the-
things
to the
that
top
are
5.
available, right?
Not necessarily.
Because like 3 of my games I can't get yet.
This was hard for me, actually. Like I mentioned, I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just got enough, or maybe because I'm less board game focused. Like I'm playing board games, but I'm not like, or maybe just in general, I've just gotten to the point that there's so much out there that I've just got blinders on, unless it's a CMON or Fantasy Flight game.
I think
Those
that's
are
it.
your blinders. There's one each. Seamon's on the right.
Yeah.
Fantasy Flight's on
I'll
the left.
play other stuff. Like I'm not saying that I won't play your game. I'm just saying like I'm not hyped about the game beforehand. And unless it's one of those companies, probably, and then
Yeah.
there's plenty of games that Scythe, for instance, that's not
Yeah, you might have a couple of promos left to get, but besides that.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying Scythe is not it's not a CMON or Fantasy
Oh,
Flight.
true. Yeah.
You got
there's
things
that.
like Ice Cool and like Kung Fu Zoo is one of my favorite games so far. Not So Fast. Those are games that were like hits of conventions for me,
Mhm.
but weren't from those companies. But they were also games that
You didn't know about.
Well,
Really.
Kung
I mean,
Fu Zoo
you
was
didn't
technically,
really.
but
it-
I didn't.
surprise.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. Exactly. So my point of that was it was this list was hard for me.
Got
So,
it.
Philip, what's something you wanting for Christmas, or that you're looking to get at PAX?
You remember? Oh, well, see now you got to
Either one.
So you remember back in the day when you were a little kid and you got crappy like socks and underwear as gifts?
I
Yeah.
loved
We need
it.
that now, okay? We need that more now than
I
I did
actually
when I was
still-
10. Or, no, just like,
I actually still get things like that from my mom because she's awesome.
Well, they got those like 12 days of socks things that you can get like 12 packs of like Batman socks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm signing up.
Ashley,
you need to get on
That
Twitter
sounds
more.
pretty good.
Ashley and Chloe wanted. They're like Ashley's got. It's a pack of Minecraft socks. It's like an advent calendar of socks, and it's like 12 days of socks.
See, that's kind of
And like Chloe's getting one for I think there's like a band or something, or like Zelda or something like that, where you'd open up and it's different Zelda type socks.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cute.
And I was wanting someone to do something like that,
Board game
board
related?
game or
Oh,
gaming
that'd be
related,
cool.
like 12 days of dice.
Cards Against Humanity. They might do that because they did all that.
Well, they do just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peter. I mean, maybe somebody might strip
See?
the wallpaper
See,
out
there
of
we
your
go.
bathroom.
Pipe
but
mats.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
Roger
like birds.
it's a bird game.
Oh,
That's a cheap game too.
okay,
It's like a little card game.
gotcha.
Haven't I seen that recently?
Gizmos
Yes.
is fun. I'm just
Mhm.
reading stuff here in the
Where
chat
did we
room.
see it? Oh, it was at the Beat Store, wasn't it?
So,
I don't know what was out there.
Maybe not.
Cindy, why don't you start us?
My number 1 game on my wish list.
Number
What?
one.
Oh, number 5 game on my wish list. I guess I spoiled it earlier, so it's Azul.
And this is why you went first.
Yeah. I don't know. I really enjoyed my play of it, and I feel like I would get a lot of good plays out of it if I had it. I would just have to make Colin like it better.
It's okay. I didn't hate it. It's just like I don't see what the fuss is about.
He he felt it was overhyped.
Right.
Yes.
And that's why I feel like if we play it just the two of
I mean,
us.
it's not like Lisboa.
It's actually it
That's
looks a
an
lot
inside
better.
joke.
Yeah.
It does. It is beautiful.
But then again, I still want to make a version of Azul that's just Starburst.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Anyways,
Okay.
Colin.
So number
Colin's
5.
list was like 20 long or something like that. He
Yeah,
said.
I'm picking and choosing here. So
Mine's
number
really long too.
number 5 is going to be the expansion, Houses of the Renaissance for Lorenzo Il Magnifico, because it's.
I'm
for-
surprised
for
you
me-
haven't gotten this yet.
Yeah, that's the reason I want to go buy the CMON booth at PAX.
Okay.
Is specifically for that, and maybe like one of the other or not type things.
Gotcha. You
Uh,
should try Gizmos.
well, I
keep-
tried it. I demoed it at Dice Tower.
Oh, okay.
I have not tried it.
Yeah, I was teaching it and stuff, so I got to play it,
Gotcha.
and it was okay. It was a nice, fast little engine building game. But yeah, Lorenzo is for me and Cindy. It's a really smooth flowing game, and
Uh-huh.
it plays really fast. It's got nice engine building, and this just adds to it and gives. I think it gives some player powers. I don't remember what all it adds, but
It's got great artwork too.
thank you.
I'm just kidding.
So yeah, Lorenzo expansion Renaissance houses thing.
My number 5 is actually, I mentioned this before we went live, but I want the Terraforming Mars iOS app.
Ooh.
I just want to be able to play more, or just the mobile app.
Yeah.
When is that coming?
They said December.
Soon.
They said it was theorized by the end of the year. I saw it at Origins on someone's phone. Like I happened to just randomly. I ended up at a lunch where one of the people I was eating lunch with worked for Asmodee Digital. Did not plan that, and she had like a version, like it was a testing version of Terraforming Mars on the phone.
Nice. So that's your number
my
5.
number 5.
All right, cool.
I just want to make a statement, guys. Don't forget to put a number in the chat with your wish.
Yeah, and you can still.
item.
We'll wait till after our number
Yeah.
3s to give
There's
away.
just a few people that have put only what they want.
Well, they're
not a
just
number.
continuing the conversation. Some of those have posted multiple times, but
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
preferably a number in the chat room, or we'll just
Mhm.
give you one.
Yeah. Sorry.
1 to
I don't want
20.
anybody to miss out.
Take away, give you a number, take away your name.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, is it back to me now?
Yes, number
So
4.
back to me. My number 4 game on my wish list is Koi from Smirk.
All
and,
right.
It's Smirk and Laughter.
Smirk and Dagger.
This one's Laughter.
It's the same company.
I know it is so beautiful, guys. Oh my gosh, I've been seeing pictures on Instagram and Twitter and stuff lately, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get my hands on this game.
I am crushing on those little wooden dragonflies.
They're adorable, and the fish, the koi fish, are just so oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
It's pretty.
I can't
it is
wait
a
to
pretty
see it.
game.
Saturday, I'm gonna run right to that Smirk and Dagger booth and be like, "Hi, Kurt.
Just like
Can I
that,
see
you're gonna
Koi?
like.
I'm gonna run just like this."
That's more like a waddle, a fast waddle.
It's called the Shindy Run.
Oh right, yeah.
The Shindy.
She got that nickname in college.
I did.
Ah.
So yeah, Koi,
All right.
right?
Yeah. So,
Koi.
Colin.
Awesome. So my number 4 is a solo game that is kind of difficult to find right now, but I found it on Board Game Bliss, and I'm sad that I didn't go ahead and order it. Like, I'd already placed my order for the Carson City upgrade pack, and I checked like 2 days later. I was like, I wonder. Oh, yeah, it's on that site. Crap, I could have added that in there, because I had to pay for shipping. I didn't break their like $150 margin to get free shipping. So, Nautilian. It's in the Oniverse game series. And it's...
You made that up.
No.
That sounds made up.
No, it's a real game.
It's a... you know,
Phil, fact check this for me.
Did we switch into the game show already? Is this
No. You know, Onirim or Onirum,
Yeah.
however you pronounce it. It's in that same universe.
Yeah, it's
the Dream World.
Nautill.
And this one is
I believe.
this one's like submarine themed. It's
that like-
nautical.
is that like Onimusha?
No.
I don't care.
Is it a solo game like
It-
Onurim is?
Yeah, it's solo with like a 2-player variant.
Ah.
Oh, Naira
But
had that
this
too,
one's-
didn't it?
But you're rolling 3 dice and then assigning each die to each 3 different things what you want them to do. So you're actually still making decisions
Oh, okay.
after you've rolled the dice.
That's cool.
So, and you're picking up passengers along the way, trying to get different. It's not passengers; it's like crew. You're picking up crew for your submarine, because if you get to the other side before they get to the bad guy gets to his side, you win. But you have to have all of your crew that is necessary.
Gotcha.
Bless you. So yeah, Nautilian.
So my number 4 is less my number 4 because of excitement, and more my number 4 because it's going to happen, and it was kind of obvious, so I was getting it out of the way. And that's the best thing about Keyforge is
More Keyforge.
more
Oh,
Keyforge. Yeah, I'm just excited to get more of it. Like half of it is it's just the names are funny and silly, and
Yeah,
half
I've
of it
seen
is
some of the decks.
I want
yeah.
to see some just good deck names and
Oh,
like just
yeah.
deck combinations.
Mhm.
I'm just excited to play more deck combinations. And hey, who knows? I might open one that sells on eBay for $1,000. By the way, if you're paying $1,000 for a Keyforge deck, you are stupid.
What?
Yeah, there's a certain combination.
Don't say that, because now they're not going to pay for it. If you try to sell it.
There's a certain combination of cards that's like been deemed, even though we've not done like any official open or not really.
Yeah.
Or there's a certain combination of cards that certain decks, like a very slim circumstance of decks, has gotten multiple versions of those. There's like 4 horsemen, and there's a very slim amount of decks that has 2 copies of each of the 4 horsemen, and they're selling for like $1,000 on eBay.
Oh my gosh.
What people don't realize is I've talked to the FFG OP people, and
Mhm.
like you're only going to be able to win so many games. Like after a deck has been deemed to win a certain number of games, like yeah, you'll get chains, but after a certain threshold, it gets banned and removed from the game.
Oh, is that right?
Like you'll go
Ah.
to scan your game in, and it goes, this deck is ineligible.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, like, yeah, you may have a killer game that you win at your local tournament, and then you go to some regional, and it's out. I mean, I guess you could buy it and save it,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you're only going to get like X number of wins, and then game's gone.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
which
it,
I
it
like.
makes it a little bit more
It also keeps like one deck from just
friendly.
losing or
Well,
just
no,
winning all the time.
It does prevent those people from. It prevents like the current meta type mentality
Yeah,
of. I mean, because back when we were doing X-wing
mm-hmm.
at our game store, it was like, oh yeah, if you don't have these 3 fighter cards with these upgrades per each card, you're just gonna lose every single time.
yeah,
It makes it fair,
yeah.
which is cool. I think. I mean, because with the way the decks are, that they're not like.
And to answer, the horsemen are in the sanctum faction. Somebody was asking.
Oh, yeah. With the way that the decks are, like this is the deck, and you can't really change it, modify it, whatever. It would be very unfair if they kept the same deck. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if they let you keep winning with that same deck, because people can't change their deck to combat you, basically, or counteract you. There we go. That's the word.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Chris needed to take a call.
Yeah.
So
Pause.
we'll pause for a
Again.
second.
I just wanted to finish my thought.
So
Should we like thumb wrestle or something?
what's in?
Oh yeah, Keith. I hope you get it for working because it's a fun little game. I really enjoy Space Base a lot.
Oh yeah, that is AAG. Yeah,
It is.
yeah, I enjoy it too.
Although I will say, Keith, the rule book for that needs some help. Maybe they've updated it since I first got it because we got like within the first wave of printing.
Specifically, like some of the like charging powers are the ones that are iffy
There was
to
a lot of
understand.
typos, and there was some things that were difficult to understand. Like they didn't
Oh.
word things properly, but a lot of the typos were annoying too for me as a big like.
That's
I
disappointing.
don't know.
What is?
I'm looking through the exhibitor list at
PAX.
PAX Unplugged, and Broken Token's not going to be there.
They are.
They are. They're on there.
They're on
It's
our-
the broken token. They're in T.
That's annoying.
Yeah. There's a lot of thes in there. Actually, I think there's only like 6 or 7 thes.
I like that.
There we are.
The
Yep.
board game table folks are going to be there.
There's a few of them.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying the
one,
ones that we
Yeah.
are getting
board
a
game
table from.
tables. Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be cool
there
to
are 6
see.
thes.
It'll be
Okay.
cool to see a copy of the Jasper in person before we get ours.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to actually see that because I'm curious about what the actual table surface is.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I there's I downloaded the guidebook app.
Mhm.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's
That they emailed us about.
Yeah.
Did they?
Well,
oh, is that
They
not how you
they
found it?
did, but
Oh, I knew about guidebook from that time we went to PAX East.
Oh, okay,
years
gotcha.
ago.
but yeah, there's
You didn't get an exhibitor badge. You just got or not an exhibitor,
press.
press badge. You
Nope.
Just, okay.
I just get to run around and do whatever.
The
Cool.
Y'all have to do stuff.
We do.
Y'all have to like take notes and think about
Oh.
stuff, and yeah, I just get to run around.
Right.
So what was I gonna say?
I forgot.
It's gone now.
Yep, it happens.
Man,
It happens to me a lot. It's because we're running out of hair.
really sad that Meeple Source isn't gonna be there.
Oh, me too.
I was really hoping for that.
Me too.
So I do now have. I don't really have a map, but I have 3 booths I'm gonna hit up. I'm gonna hit up Gale Force 9 and Arcane Wonders, and you're probably
Renegade, of
gonna have
course.
to drive me kicking and screaming from the Renegade game booth
Because
Why
of
the-
the Power
oh,
Rangers
oh.
because
game.
of the Power Rangers board game.
Well, they'll close the hall, I think, before we end up leaving. So they'll kick you out themselves.
No.
gotta morph one more time. No.
Nice. Just side update.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of some stuff happening, we're gonna have to skip the game show.
Okay.
We could always maybe record. We get. All right. What did I miss?
So we're
We-
on to mine.
We just
We just.
bantered.
I heard you bantering. I just
So we need to go on to my number 3.
Yes.
Okay. Let me pull it up. Sorry. My number 3 is I don't know. Do I group these two together?
Yes.
Okay. So my number 3 is a collection of games from the same publisher called Illusion and Gans Clever.
What?
Aren't they the same?
what?
Am I dumb? No, it's the same. It's the same designer. It's not the same.
What?
Illusion and Gans Clever.
Uh-huh.
Aren't they the same designer?
Yes.
Are they the same publisher?
No.
I'm an idiot.
That's
Well, then I don't-
I was gonna, like, can we
soundbited.
soundbite that? Yeah, we got
I don't even get
sound bited, sound bit,
whatever.
Bitten.
Clip.
sound bit.
All right.
bitten.
So anyway, both those little small, easy to play games.
Are they
on my
both
list.
rolling rights?
No. So Illusion is
It's a visual, space recognition.
Yeah, spatial recognition. So basically, you start with there's a card that tells you, okay, you have to put green from in order of like most on the card.
You're going from least to most.
Yeah, and so you you flip over cards, and they have some sort of like not special design. It's like an abstract design on them, and you have to determine whatever color it is that you're working with, where it fits in the line of the rest of the cards. And so,
like timeline.
yeah,
You're
and they
figuring out what
have-
cards to put it between.
and they have on the back of the card that has the percentages of how much is on that card. It's really cool. And so like you place it where you think it goes. The next person can either challenge you or place the next card where they think it goes. And yeah, it's really, really neat. And I like things like that. I really like spatial recognition games. And pretty cool. And then, of course, we all know what Gone Strong Clever is at this point. Hopefully, nice roll and write. Love it. I want to play.
Where's
We've
if there's,
talked-
there's,
we've talked
there's
about
an
it
app
several
and a web
times.
version that we had talked about
Yeah.
a couple weeks, about 2 months, 3 months ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a roll and write game.
I swear I've never heard that title come out of anyone's mouth.
Gone Strong Clever?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
it's been talked about.
But anyways, I'm not going to explain it because most
It's a
people know
Yahtzee
what
style
it is.
game.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So those are two that I'm going to group together because they're small little games, but they're not available in the U.S.
They
yet.
really only count
Actually,
as one.
Illusion might be available in the U.S.
It's Pandasaurus, and so it is available now.
Okay, but I know Gons is not yet. I thought
They-
that was going to be Pandasaurus too.
No, it's Stronghold, and that's coming in like beginning of next year.
Right, we discussed this. Dad, I can't
Or
believe.
no, it's April. I think I saw April.
Yeah, I can't believe I missed. I don't know why.
Anyways.
because it's both. It's all. Is
Yes.
it Wolfgang Kramer?
Warsh.
Warsh, whatever. Who's Wolfgang Kramer?
He does other games.
Oh, whatever. I'm terrible today, April.
Yeah, there's, say few words. You don't have to stop talking, but less words.
Side eye.
Okay, so my number 3 is another game in the GIP series.
oh god,
The abstract 2-player game.
he rolled dice and came up with a new
He
name.
probably did.
No, I know that.
It's called Link,
Oh,
and
This one I want.
well,
to.
it's spelled Lynk,
you talked about this before.
Yeah,
I
we
might
played it. We
have.
played it at Dice Tower Con.
but now it's on my wish list.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's a nice. And Cindy actually liked this one, so it made it like rocket to the top of the wish list.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, there's that. It's nice.
My number 3 is also in the trend of all the previous things or games I already have. My number 3 is also a game I already have, but a different version of a game I already have, and that is I want to get the Blazing Fire Railroad Inc.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
of course.
nice.
Had to-
Just because then I could play more players. I could play up to 12 if I wanted to.
Oh yeah, because there's no difference on the boards.
No.
It's just the dice.
Yeah, and then you just brings in 2 different modules of dice.
Right. And cool.
So, has anybody got the chat? I'm gonna roll for the play mat.
Yeah.
I have it, but
We've
I'm-
got. Let's see. There's.
Did anybody put 5? If
No.
not, then just go the 5th down.
It I can't go that far back up.
That is. It's Peter Fleming.
Okay. Peter,
There we are.
either way, it was Peter. You've won. Send me an email, chris@ocdcast.com, and with your address, and you will get this nice, fancy dice mat.
it is nice.
It is. I like it. I like the stitching around the edges.
Yeah, and it's if
Mhm.
you don't like the skull, you can just flip it over and it's blank on the other side.
Ooh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
So,
Mhm.
number 2.
Number 2.
Oh, my number 2 is probably no surprise to anybody, but
China and Russia.
there is an Asian one already, which is cool.
China. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
see,
right.
then they'll start bringing in. Do you remember years ago when like Google Earth first came out,
Yeah.
and the way the pictures were all stitched together in the middle of the Atlantic? They were like, oh, "It's Atlantis! Somebody found Atlantis!" It's like, no, it's just the way the pictures were all stitched together.
Oh
dude.
my gosh.
All right.
What's your number 2, Colin?
Number 2.
So number 2 is Port Royal: The Adventure Begins.
Oh.
And
Is
so
this from Steve Jackson?
no,
Oh.
the expansions aren't. They're not compatible with the Steve Jackson version because the cards are
Oh.
different size. And we got the Pegasus Spiel version
Yeah.
because we wanted to get the expansions.
Because we
And
love Port Royal so much.
The card sizes for the Steve Jackson are like significantly smaller.
Gotcha.
I mean, they're not a huge difference, but it's enough.
Yeah, you would be able
Like,
to tell what
Because there's extra cards you're supposed to mix in with the expansions. And so this is a story expansion, and the first expansion makes it to where you could play solo, but this also makes it to where you play solo, and you just go through the storyline playing the game, sort of like campaign-ish. And yeah, it's really hard to get, though, in the English version. You can find the German version easy, but the
Oh,
English
yeah.
version is really hard to find.
Yeah.
So that's number 2 on my list.
Awesome.
My number 2 is last time we did one of these top 5s. Colin, when we did a holiday list, Colin got all sentimental and this time I'm getting sentimental. And my number 2 is, I also referenced this on Twitter today. I want to try Gloomhaven.
Oh yeah.
I want
yeah.
someone to teach me Gloomhaven. So mine is not getting Gloomhaven, but mine is I want a play of Gloomhaven.
If Roger's still in the chat, I know he has it.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Yeah, because it's one of those, like, everything about this sounds like it's a game for me,
Mm-hmm.
except for it doesn't have minis. I think it does standees instead of minis, which drives me nuts. But still, it's the only reason I haven't gotten it is the price and the time invested is too much for me.
Oh yeah.
So, but I do want to try it so I at least have got the experience and understand why it's, like, all the rage.
Yeah, I could get behind that. I'd want to try it too.
Yeah. Plus, it's another one of those top 200s.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's one I'd be interested.
That's
to try.
yeah, that's up there somewhere high in the 200s. I know
yeah.
it's number 1 right now.
But number 3 in Tom's heart.
I know, really. That's a drastic change.
As soon as I
Oh,
heard
yeah.
it dropped to number 3, I knew what his number 1 was immediately.
What is?
oh,
what was
it's
it?
Project
Project Elite.
Oh okay.
Because he raved so much about it last year. Anyways, spoilers to anybody that watches the Dice Tower videos, but this will be out.
It's been a couple
This
days.
is like
or
a
it was
week.
yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this will be a week.
All
away.
right. And then number 1.
My number 1 is Die Quacksalber von Quedlinburg.
Oh, yeah, this doesn't surprise me.
It's that potion creating game. Or no, what are you creating? Yeah, you're creating
Yeah,
potions.
It's like
Potions, yeah.
snake oil creating.
What?
Never mind.
Your
Like different
your
ailments.
doctors
Oh yeah,
uh,
your doctors
that are unqualified.
pretty much. And I just really
It's the
really like
Kenner
that
Spiel?
game.
Did
Was
it
it?
win?
I
think
don't
it
know.
was- I think it was the Kenner
Yeah, it
Spiel.
did.
It
Yeah,
did win.
it did.
Okay, yeah, Kenner Spiel winner.
Or was it?
Or at least it was
I don't know
nominated.
anymore.
I
I
think
don't
it
Was
remember.
it
Kenner-
Heaven and Ale? I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure it was.
Die
It was up
Quacksalber.
there. It was
I
up
think it
there.
was
Yeah.
Quedlinburg.
I don't know. I really liked it, and I can't wait to get that. So I can
It was
play
pretty
all the
good.
time.
It was it's press your luck element. It was really good.
Yeah, the bag building of sort. Yeah, it was bag building, which I
Mhm.
enjoyed a lot. So yeah, that's my number 1 on my wish list.
Good pick.
A couple of my games.
The same. It's. Have you played Port Royal?
No.
It's
I mean, I
it's
was thinking
a
the
similar
same-
thing.
I
It's
was
a deck
thinking
of
the
cards,
same thing, but
multi-use
it's like-
cards.
That's like, hey, you want to play dominoes? Now we're going to add capitalism. This is the capitalism expansion to dominoes.
But I know with Port Royal, the one that you're needing to have certain characters in front of you. I don't know if it adds characters that you need to have, like, and then the certain buildings that you need to create. I don't know. But I just know it's a nice story that certain people I've heard